So quickly, before the sun goes down, I want to demonstrate how close I'm going to be fishing to hopefully catch one of these fish. Now, let me see if I can do this. Right, here's my rig, here's my rod, and just going to chuck my rig out there. There we go. So I have cast that in by hand, I've just thrown it into the water. That's how close you can catch these things. Look at that for a professional rig. I haven't used a short boom rig for years. Yeah, top tip for the day. If you're going to be using booms, your snood wants to be just a smidgen shorter than your boom. That way it can't reach the rig body and can't tangle, in theory. Anti-tangle boom rig. Like the only time I ever use this nowadays is when I'm fishing 3 foot out for rockling. But back in the day, this is what we used to use. Right, here I am. Actually, before we get started, don't laugh at my trousers. I forgot my bib and brace. I was in such a haste to leave the shop, grabbing just a couple of little bits and bobs. I left my bib and brace at the shop, so now I've got my manky decorating tracksuit trousers. What? I'm allowed to look like a homeless guy every now and again. I'm going to hang around with people like Kim and Liam, you know, I'm just trying to fit in. Anyway, so yes, as mentioned in the previous video, I'm going to start keeping track of the species that I catch on camera. And I noticed there's some real obvious notable misses on that list. Garfish, I can't believe I never caught a garfish on camera. But there was a 5-bearded rockling missing. And I thought, oh, blimey, hang on, middle of March, probably right at the back end of rockling season, so that decided to be, I decided that would be species number 1 to target. So I've come down to Avon Beach, March the 3rd, something, middle of March, and I'm just going to fish for rocklings. All I'm going to do, tick that list and move on. We used to do quite a lot of rockling fishing when I was a wee nipper. I don't know, sort of 15, 20 years ago, that sort of thing. We used to come down here in winter and catch, you know, bags of rockling, buckets of rockling, and it was all good fun. But where fishing's changed, you know, we get a lot more whiting now, we get dogs and things like that. So even in matches, you just tend to ignore rockling, just not a species you target. So I thought, seeing as I'm going to target them now, I'm going to go back to what I used to do. And I've gone back to a real short, little, scratchy boom rig. It works really well, and I've just proved that by sticking it into my fleece. There we go, so the hooks are sharp. Always check your hooks are sharp. Such a professional. Anyway, so yeah, I've got these little, what are they, 4-inch Tronics Pro crimp booms. 3 of them on a little 3-aught flapper. Super simple, really short little snoods. Quite a heavy lead actually, so that's a 170 gram pyramid. Because there was a little bit of a, you probably can't pick it up on camera, probably looks flat calm, doesn't it? There's a little bit of surf in the edge, which is just nice, just what I like. Because I want to just chuck this just behind the breaker in just a few inches of water. Because so often that's where the rockling are. You can pick them up sort of casting out and that sort of thing, but this time of year, where the sort of water's turning over, it's lifting and churning up that bit of sand, they're just grubbing around right in the edge. And I wonder if that's why I miss them. All the fishing I do, I don't catch rockling, because although sometimes I do fish short, 20 yards isn't short when it comes to rockling. 10 foot is where we are. So yeah, so a little boom rig, reasonably heavy lead, just to stop it beaching itself, basically. A little 2-ounce bull lead is just going to get washed up on the beach. And yeah, fingers crossed we'll bump into one. I'll show you what one looks like, tick it off the list, and I get to go home. Could be a short one, hopefully. Oh, that's the other thing. Just little bits of bait. Well, obviously, Thomas. Little bits of worm. So very rarely do I use worm for bait. You've probably noticed 9 times out of all my videos are done with fish baits, especially throughout the winter months. I've got some lugworm in the shop, so I just brought down a few lugworm, and I've just put on a little sort of inch section of lug. In an ideal world, if I'd planned this in advance, I'd have some week-old smelly worm. That would be my my preference, but I haven't. I planned this at about 3 hours ago, so got to make do with what I got. So I will pick up weed fishing this close in. You know, we've had some wind and some stir up and that sort of thing recently, so I expect to pick up some bits and bobs of weed. Don't worry about that. That's not a problem at all. The fish will be mooching in and around the weed. So all I do is get my rig, pull off all the weed and hopefully find a slug in it. Slug being one of the more popular nicknames for the rockling, poor things. Like mini catfish, they're gorgeous. Right, let's see what's on the end on cast 1. We've got nothing in the way of fish. I didn't expect to this early. A little bit of fluffy weed. So that's it. Okay, cast 1 done. Let's try cast 2. Well, I can't be bothered to walk down the water's edge, so I'll just do an underarm flick. There we go. Just about made it into the water. I caught something on my second cast. I don't know if I'm allowed this on my species lift. Lift? I have a lift. Shall I start that again? I caught something. I don't know if I'm allowed this on my species list. So you guys will have to be very honest in the comments. Can I include a crab on my species list? Does this count? Does this count, guys? Is this number 29? No. It's a female crab. She's very pretty. I shall name her Tallulah. Bye-bye, Tallulah. I shall set you free. I'm sure I just had a bite. Could have, of course, just been a little bit of weed bouncing in the water. Just looked a little bit different. I've never been so excited about catching a rockling before. Let me see if I can feel the bite. If I suddenly get dragged into the sea, you know we're on. Oh, we've got some weight. Oh, we've got loads of weed. Look, that's probably what it was. Oh, a washing line. Never mind, this is all part of the... I'll just walk backwards, see if I can beach my rig before dealing with the weed. Oh no! Unbelievable. Well, it was a bite. And despite being 10 foot out in 3 inches of water, I still managed to catch a whiting. I don't think there's a rockling in there anyway. No, there wasn't. There's the other 2 hooks. Wow, okay. Kind of proof of how close you can catch fish, I suppose. Not quite the fish I wanted. Look at that! Look at that, guys! It's got to be a rockling, right? I am praying that is a rockling bite. Ooh. That's exciting. Right, let's have a look. What have we got in amongst the weed this time? Yes! Yes! Oh my word! You will not find a more excited angler to catch a rockling. I have done it. I have done it. What's the time? 7:49. I've been here for an hour and a quarter. Let me just put in a bucket of water and then we shall inspect my rockling. There she is, ladies and gentlemen. What we commonly refer to as a slug or a 5-bearded rockling. If you even look at them when they're in a bucket of water, if I can get the camera on this, I shall. Their dorsal fin sort of quivers and wavers, sort of flickers. That sort of orange line there, I don't know if you can see that, but now this will come out. Right. Now, let's have a little closer look. So this is a 5-bearded rockling. Very easily identified by the 5 beards on its nose, okay? So you've got 4 on the top lip and 1 little bib under the chin there. That is a 5-bearded rockling. They're gorgeous little things. They're like a mini catfish. That's what I like to refer to them as. But that right there, get them back in water, don't keep them out of water as longer than you need. That is species number 29 on my YouTube species list. Let's get him back. Well, I may as well have another cast whilst I'm here, but to be honest, ticked that box, really pleased with that, genuinely. And that's the beauty of doing things like species hunts. You set your target, set your stall out to catch a specific fish, and when you do catch it, it doesn't matter what the fish is. It could be the most humblest of fish, like a simple 5-bearded rockling. It's such a sense of achievement. The other thing with doing species hunt is I think you'll become a better angler doing it, because you'll start thinking outside the box. You won't just be doing the same thing, session in, session out. Oh look, so I'm so flustered, I'm just taking off all the fresh bait from my rig that I was ready to cast out. Okay, let's put some more fresh bait on that then. Yeah, so what was I saying? Yeah, so I think doing things like species hunting, or at least trying to target specific things, will improve your angling abilities. You'll think about things, you'll think outside the box a little bit. So like tonight, I thought I want to catch a rockling, so I'm going to cast as close as I can possibly cast, because I know that's where they are. It's a good way of avoiding, if I'd have chucked it out 40 yards down there, I'd be catching pouting, whiting dogs all night long, same old. But I didn't. I specifically targeted something and I achieved, and I feel really good about it. I'm now going to see if I can catch another one. Quick update on my race for life. I'm up to 234 quid already. Amazing. So thank you so much to everyone who's donated so far. I've just had a couple come in tonight. Gentleman called Brian, 20 quid, Paul earlier 17, Chris 10, Paul again 20. Just honestly, thank you so much for everyone who's donating. I set my stall out, I want to hit £1,000. I've got until June the 16th, that's when the race is. To get there, I'm pretty sure we're going to smash that mark. So thank you to everybody. Again, I'll put a little link in the description of the video. If you fancy popping along, chucking a couple of quid into my Race for Life. It goes to Cancer Research UK. Very worthy cause, I think. I appreciate it massively. Thank you. Right, it's 8:15. I'm going home. I came, I saw, I conquered. It might have only been one, but it was the one that I wanted. Nothing on my last cast. Well, there we go. Right, so the species hunt has begun in earnest. Don't forget, if you liked this video, please do the old like and subscribe thingy-majiggy. Always appreciated. And I shall see you on the next video. I don't know what the next video will be. I never do I make it up as I go along? It might be a species one. It might just be a fish somewhere. I have got next week something very exciting planned with Darren. We're heading abroad. I'm going on a boat, going to a different land. Look forward to that one.